This is Abby Johnson with Sugar Spun Marketing, and joining us right now is Brent Satoris of Search Engine Journal. How are you this afternoon?
I'm doing really good. It's the start of a day, and I'm here. So
You can't go wrong with there. Well, I want to talk with you a little bit about Reddit, which is an interesting social media channel. It's people sort of have a love-hate relationship with it because if you're in the know, you love it. If you're not in the know, you kind of hate it.
yeah, I think that the whole love-hate thing with Reddit is more of a thing of the past. I think that when it comes to Reddit. And when it comes to social media as a whole, a lot of people don't take the time to really market to the communities themselves. They look at social still kind of as a sense of like, okay, I have this campaign and I want to get visibility. So I'm going to throw it on Reddit in hopes that a bunch of people see it. And I'm going to throw it on Facebook and I'm going to throw it on Twitter in hopes that I get more visibility. When really we should be looking at those as legitimate audiences that we should be marketing to and coming up with campaigns for them, right? So Reddit doesn't hate advertising, they don't hate marketers. There's certain people who do, but more than anything, they hate being marketed to without taking the time of really understanding. So the problem people have when they're scared of Reddit is that honestly they didn't really make an effort. They went in, they didn't research, they didn't understand how Reddit works, and they just said, I'm going to submit links from my site and I expect to get traffic, and they banned me or they didn't like my link. I don't like it. So I'm scared of it now. So I think that most people, it's just a lack of understanding.
Well, let's get into how people should approach it correctly because, as we know, I mean, if an article gets picked up on Reddit, I mean, that can have lasting effects for years even.
Absolutely.
So how can, I guess, just sort of walk us through step by step what the right approach is.
Well, I mean, you definitely need to understand that Reddit is not a community. Reddit is a software solution. So Reddit gives you the ability for you as an individual to create your own community. And Reddit acts as a dashboard to those communities. The first thing you really have to understand about Reddit is that each community is member run. So they have their own rules. So rules in one subreddit might be completely different than rules in another subreddit. So you need to understand that part to begin with. You need to understand that it's about belonging to a community, right? You have to comment and you have to reply to comments and you have to participate in dialogue more so than you have to submit content. So those are the two big things. And then the third thing I would say that's really important to getting in, right? I mean, this is about getting in the front door and feeling comfortable. You need to also know what subreddits you want to be a part of. You need to find something that you're passionate about, but you need to understand the rules. If your long-term goal with Reddit is to submit links, then you don't want to pick subreddits that are going to have no submissions as a part of their rule. Like sometimes you can't submit links, you can only do self-posts. And if you're thinking I want to get links into Reddit as your long-term strategy, you have to pick and choose the right subreddits. So those are the first couple things, but I mean I can go on for hours. There's a ton to getting kind of deeper into that. How do you actually submit? How do you actually get past moderation elements? Because, most things when they're submitted to Reddit are initially moderated. So how do you identify those things? Logging out and seeing if your link's still there. If it's not, then you've been moderated. Now you have to contact the moderators and get it released. So there's a lot of work that goes into it, but mostly it's about those couple things, really understanding what the site's about, commenting, participating, and picking the right subreddits, and then really being a part of the community.
Well, are there certain industries, because I mean obviously everyone that is successful with Reddit, they love all the traffic and everything that they receive, but are there some industries that work better with Reddit, or are there some industries that shouldn't try to approach it?
Well, I think the real problem with the way we approach a lot of the questions, even with any of this, is we ask the question not can you have success? We ask, can you get what you want? Can we get big success? Not can we accomplish our goals? The first thing you have to ask is what is your goal? Because if your goal is traffic, then there's absolutely certain niches, certain topics that do better. There's certain subreddits. One of the things about subreddits is you shouldn't go based on how many people subscribe to a subreddit. You should go based on the activity number. It'll show you how many people are actually online, and you can find some other sites that aggregate the data to determine subreddits' popularity levels. You want to choose things that are active because you want more traffic, you want more eyeballs. But let's say you have a really niche product. If you go in and you find out that the subreddit has only 1,000 people in there, that's your cap. That's your potential for views. But if it's really niche, you need really niche views. And so if you're going for conversion, if you're going for branding, if you're going for feedback, a lot of Reddit can be about getting information and feedback, raw feedback about your product. Depending on what your goal is, really determines which subreddits, what type of submits, and how long and complicated your strategy is going to be.
I love that you brought up the fact of it all goes back to your goal, because at Sugar Spoon Marketing, that's something that we always advocate. And I feel like that so many people just love to, they see Reddit or they see a certain program and they're just like, oh, we have to use it. But it may not be the right fit.
Exactly. And I think that's the same across all social. I think what it comes down to is that as SEOs, we really marketed to like 1% of the online audience, right? I mean, of all the people in the world, when we were really building links and we were really worried about algorithms, it was really about put a buy button on the front page of your site. Make it easy for people to find. It's all business. People just want what they want and they'll run with it. I think that with smartphones and with cheaper technology, we have the full audience of the world online today, and a lot of the old traditional marketing tactics have come into play. So us viewing things in a way like, hey, I just want to get a link of this, I just want to get some traffic, and not viewing it as what are my true campaign goals. I mean, the best companies examples we see today, when we go and we say, here's 10 examples of companies, these aren't traditional companies who are all involved in SEO for 10 years. These are traditional large companies who are doing traditional marketing online. They're taking those traditional marketing principles and making real, honest campaigns. They're spending time and budget and months of preparation and multiple different levels of media to really have that impact of the campaign. And I think that's what we all have to start thinking more about. And when you're thinking about it like that and you're saying, I want to market on Reddit, what can I do on Reddit for Redditors that connects them with my brand? I mean, people don't really get into the demographics of Reddit and how powerful they are. I mean, you're talking 200 million monthly users, 8 billion page views, 62% of that's from the US, 80% English speaking, 70,000 median income, 35 median age, with 90% of them making purchases online in the last 6 months. So that is like a really amazing audience for being direct to consumer and having an opportunity of creating an influencer, having a sale, and improving your brand. And so if you go to Reddit with that in mind, and I want to be a part of that, and I want to market to that community, you will have great success, and you can have great long-term success. But if you're not looking to really be a part of it, then you're just going to fail. And you're going to do that more and more in any avenue. If you're just looking for one result without putting any effort into it, you're going to fail.
Great information, Brent. Thank you so much for talking with us. We really appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
All right, this is Abby Johnson with Sugar Spoon Marketing. Thanks for watching.